Employees ask, how much am I getting paid? Owners ask, how much value am I creating? Welcome back to the Vine and Branch channel. This is week 7 of the Mindset of Wealth. If you've been a part of this journey, we've been talking about all things mindset of wealth and nothing related to how to get rich quick. We believe here in this series that the most important person you become is much more than what you have. I'm gonna say that again. Who you become is much more important than what you have. We don't want to see people reach their mountaintop just to fall because their mind wasn't right. And so that's what this series is birthed out of, the mindset of wealth. We want you to be whole so that as you reach your mountaintop, as you get your bag, so they say, you're whole to handle it. My name is Derek. I've been going through this series. If you hear something that resonates with you today, something that you like, please tap in and follow. You go back and watch it. We've done 6 videos, all talking about the mindset of wealth. Today we're talking about something that separates. We're talking about something that separates people financially more than they ever will. Thinking like an owner. I know this isn't about quitting your job. I'm not here to do that today. It's really about upgrading your mindset. So in section 1, the first thing I want to talk about is owners think long-term. Employees often think in pay periods. Owners think in decades. An employee mindset says, how does this compound over time? An employee mindset says, what's in it for me right now? An owner mindset says, how does this compound over time? Is this worth my time today? How do I create something that outlive me? You see, owners delay comfort for scalability. They build assets, not just income. They ask, if I stop working tomorrow, does value still flow? You see, that's leverage. That's ownership thinking. The second section I want to talk about is owners are great at taking responsibility. Here's the hard part. Owners don't blame, they adjust. Here's an employee mindset. The market is bad. The boss is unfair. The economy is against me. They don't like me. They are against me. Do you hear the difference? You see, an owner mindset says, what can I control? This is so good because oftentimes in our jobs and in work, we focus so heavily on things that we can't control. And it wears us out. And what ends up happening is it puts us in this pool of quicksand. And we find ourselves never climbing out. And weeks become months. Months becomes years, stuck in this same quicksand because we don't focus on what we can control. Last year, we implemented this new system. And for the first 5 months, I was in that quicksand. I was worried. I was stressed out every single day. I felt like I could never get ahead. In fact, I didn't know what success looked like. And then right around about this same time last year, beginning of April, May, I was just coming off of a trip from El Paso. And I was like, you know what? There's only one me. If I'm going to survive these next 7 months, I have to learn to control what I can control and let the rest take care of itself. Because if I don't, I'm going to overwhelm myself with things that I cannot control. The second thing an owner says is, what skills do I need to develop? If you're looking to elevate, but you're not looking to develop, you want promotion without work. You don't want to develop as a person. The next thing an owner says, how can I create opportunity? You see, owners think about ways, even in the midst of it. There's been plenty of times I mean, within the last 3 years, I remember having to change territories like 2 or 3 times. And I was like, man, at some point, how am I going to be able to go in and build relationships? How am I going to go in and be able to do X, Y, and Z? But you know what? I begin to shift my mindset. I begin to think, okay, how can I go and create opportunity wherever they put me at? Because if you put me in the jungle, drop me in the jungle, I'm going to survive. I'm going to figure it out. And enough of us don't have that mindset. We're blaming. We're putting it off on someone else. Okay? Ownership is radical responsibility, even when it's uncomfortable. I love listening to Kobe Bryant in old interviews and how he would say, hey, this one was on me. I love hearing players take ownership for where they were or why their team didn't necessarily perform the way it ought to, because what it says is that I am a leader. I am going to take responsibility even if it's uncomfortable. Listen, if you blame, you're going to stay stuck. If you take responsibility, you're going to gain power, because responsibility gives you options. Section 3, owners create value. Money always flow towards value, not titles, not effort alone, value. Ask yourself this question. Are you solving problems? Are you increasing efficiency? Are you learning skills that actually matter? Are you becoming irreplaceable? Or what we like to say on LinkedIn, are you becoming attractive or sexy in the market? Are you creating so much value that they can't ignore you? You see, owners focus on value creation. Employees focus on time exchange. When you think like an owner, you stop asking for raises. You start becoming undeniable. Section 4, practical shifts to ownership thinking. Here's how to start thinking like a boss. Ask, how can I improve this process? Not, is this my job? Study skills that scale. Sales communication, leadership, systems. Number 3, track value, not just income. What did I build today? Number 4, invest in assets, knowledge, relationships, reputation, networking. Ownership starts in your mind before it shows up in your bank account. So let me say this. You don't need a business to think like an owner. You need a vision. You need responsibility. You need discipline. You need long-term thinking. You see, as we kind of go through these, the reality is ownership is actually maturity. And when you think like an owner, you stop waiting for opportunity. Prepare in private so you can produce in public. Listen, if you've heard something today that resonated with you, if this was the episode that you like, you know what? That's what I needed to launch. That's what I needed. I needed to shift my mindset to start to think like an owner versus the blame game versus focusing on these bosses that I believe don't value me anyway. Whatever it is, let this be your launching pad. Let this be your launching pad so that you can start focusing on being who and what you need to be. Until we meet next time, make sure you like, subscribe, share this with somebody that you know needs to make that transition from employee to owner, that has all the intangibles, but this one thing is stopping them in their mind. And I'll see you next week.